Major update: thousands of British Patriots take over Birmingham in Remigration protest. In a moment of defiance and protest that has sent shockwaves through the political landscape, thousands of demonstrators took to the streets of Birmingham this weekend, calling for a radical overhaul of the UK's immigration policies and a return to traditional British values. The protest, described by supporters as a remigration rally, saw massive crowds waving Union Jacks and St George's crosses as chants of "Free Tommy Robinson" and criticism of Labour leader Keir Starmer echoed across the city centre. This was not a quiet gathering, it was a forceful message from those who believe they've been ignored, censored, and sidelined for too long. Organisers and attendees alike insisted the rally was not about left versus right, but rather about reclaiming the nation from what they described as decades of political betrayal. Concerns voiced at the demonstration included media bias, perceived double standards in the justice system, and the belief that traditional British culture is being eroded. "This isn't just a one-off," said one speaker to the crowd. "This is the beginning of a national awakening. People across the country are fed up, and the establishment knows it." As emotions ran high, several speakers addressed the imprisonment of activist Tommy Robinson, whose controversial detainment in solitary confinement has stirred debate across the political spectrum. One protester, drawing from personal experience, told the crowd, "I've been in prison for 9 weeks in solitary. He's in for 9 months. I cannot even begin to imagine what he's going through. Let's chant in his honor." The demonstration also focused heavily on grooming gang scandals, with repeated accusations that the authorities and political elite turned a blind eye to the abuse of thousands of young English girls in towns like Rotherham and Telford. "They looked the other way," shouted one speaker. "Because to them, English girls don't matter. But they matter to us." Further outrage was directed toward the rise in Islamist terrorism and knife crime in British cities. Many demonstrators pointed to attacks like the Manchester Arena bombing and the murder of Lee Rigby as reasons for tougher immigration laws and mass deportations. "Our cities, once proud and British, are now battlegrounds," one attendee said. "We've been told to accept this as a diversity. We will not accept it. This is war on our people, and we are fighting back." While the protest remained largely peaceful, the rhetoric was fierce and emotionally charged. Critics say such language risks inflaming tensions and could incite further division, but supporters argue that these are the voices of ordinary people who have been ignored by mainstream media and politicians for too long. The political establishment, particularly the Labour Party and local authorities, have not yet formally responded to the protest, though sources suggest there are growing concerns behind closed doors about the momentum such rallies are gaining. Meanwhile, in a separate but equally controversial development, London Mayor Sadiq Khan raised eyebrows after joking about declaring independence for the capital. In an interview with the BBC, Khan quipped that he liked the sound of El President Khan and expressed a desire to see the UK rejoin the European Union in the long term. "I think it will be very difficult in the short term to even talk about rejoining," Khan said. "But in the medium to long term, yes, of course. I would like to see us rejoin the European Union." He clarified that another Brexit referendum was unlikely in the near future and said the country should still respect the outcome of the 2016 vote. However, critics have accused him of undermining national unity and using London's influence to push an unpopular agenda.